After visiting 65 countries, I feel like I have put together a pretty good travel system with all of my essentials that genuinely make my travels easier. So this is part one of a travel series sharing all of my travel essentials. Today we're focusing on luggage, organization, and any luggage tools or accessories. By the way, I'm Renee Daniela and you're watching video 12 in a 100 video challenge I am doing here on YouTube as a big experiment to see can consistency, creativity, and long form storytelling pay for my dream New York City apartment. Okay, first and foremost, this is my tried and tested luggage system. Okay, here it is. I hope you guys can see it pretty well. So this set is from a brand called Monos. And I have been using it for a few months now. It has literally been around the world with me and it has been so convenient to pack in. And then overall, I also think just aesthetically, it's a gorgeous set. So let's go through all the pieces. And quickly for some bonus suggestions, I do love this little luggage stand. I think it's so handy for you to pop your luggage on so you're not putting your dirty luggage on your bed or you're not having to bend all the way to the floor. So that is great. And then one more suggestion, I love having a clothing rack. I think they're so handy for when I'm organizing my outfits for the trip. I'll often use this to hang up all my different outfits and have a little look to see, is everything cohesive? What things can I pair and double up together? So yeah, these are really handy, but you can get any version of a travel stand or a clothing rack that might fit your needs better. Okay, so first is my trunk. First of all, no zips. I already love that. You just have these two clasps that you open and close with a code. And then this style of luggage is a trunk. So they have a larger portion and then a smaller portion. And quite honestly, I love that. I put all my clothing in the larger area. It's quite deep and it tends to hold all of my clothing. And then in the smaller area, this is usually where I put my toiletries, accessories, any overflow shoes or bags, because I usually have my shoes or bags in my carry-on just because they're usually the more expensive items. But yeah, I usually put my toiletries and any kind of accessories, belts, things like that. And then they have two zipper compartments here, which I usually put for my intimates. So maybe my bras in one, my panties in another, and then up here sometimes I'll have my socks or my swimsuits, or I'll play around with how I might organize and utilize the zip pockets, but they definitely come in handy. But yeah, I absolutely love this luggage. It's got 4 wheels on the bottom and it rolls super easily. So when I am navigating through the airport, I have absolutely no problem with my 2 pieces. Okay, that's the checked luggage. Now let's move on to my cabin pieces. And you'll note I have a little luggage cover on here, which I do love because even with my carry-on, sometimes, you're late to board, there's no overhead space and they need to check the bag. It just helps protect it. But hold on, let me show you the one that normally goes on my checked luggage. That thing is so tattered. This is it. It is so tattered and beat up. But I can tell you, it has thoroughly done the job of just preventing scuffs and marks and chips on my luggage. So I highly recommend these. It definitely has extended the life of my luggage. And one of the things I've noticed is they have a new, I think, fabric version that might be more durable. This is more of like a silicone. So now this is my Monos hybrid carry-on. It has the dual clasps, same as the larger one, which I love because I don't have to worry about any zipper issues. And I have packed both of these bags to the brim where those locks seem like they're holding on for dear life, but each and every time they've never failed me. So they definitely are very durable. Similarly to the trunk, we've got 2 compartments, one zip side. So again, I tend to put my handbags and shoes and things like that in this carry-on bag. And then on this side, we have another little zip compartment. There's also a smaller zip compartment inside. And then you just have the open area for storage. And yeah, same as the checked bag, this carry-on roller moves so smooth and swift right through the airport with me. And again, feels so adorable. And I just think overall looks so cute. Now for the last and final piece, this is my personal item that I usually take on the plane. And it is pretty much a duffel bag. It has a slit so you can put it right over the handles. And then there's a storage compartment on this side, which I tend to use that for a lot of my cables that I don't need in flight, but that I want at some point. Because for in-flight essentials, I love using this little bag, which detaches from the larger personal item. So it almost feels like you get a bonus 3rd in-flight item, but they don't know. But yeah, inside of it has a waterproof section with a zip pocket so that you can put maybe some of your in-flight skincare or any liquid essentials. And then on the other side, you've got a few pockets and you even have a little snap-off keychain so that you can get easy access to your keys. And yeah, in this, I tend to put any of my in-flight essentials that will fit. Obviously, some things may not, such as my large noise-canceling headphones, but I do often keep my little minis in here. I'll keep my pen, highlighter, my passport. I tend to put in here my in-flight skincare essentials, my chapstick, all of that good stuff. I just find this so handy. It has a little release here so that it's quite secure when you put it on. And yeah, it just slots right on in here in this little area. And then it sits on your bag just like that. And when you're moving your luggage, it faces in towards you, so it's gonna be a bit more protected. All right, my lovelies, so this is my luggage set that I absolutely adore and have tried and tested and highly recommend. Now moving on to luggage organization. Packing cubes. I'm not gonna do any kind of demo right now. There'll definitely be a pack with me video for some tips on my actual packing process, but just so you know, for organization, I highly recommend packing cubes because it just allows you to separate your clothing into categories. And for me, that ends up being way more simple when I'm unpacking. So yeah, I usually only end up needing a couple of these, but I love having a variety of sizes because you can play a little game of Tetris in your luggage to make sure that you have everything separated in the most organized way that's easier for you. Obviously, it comes down to your preference and what works best. I'll put my swimsuits in one, my workout gear in another, my nice dinner dresses in one, and maybe my casual day wear in one. That kind of separation just does something for my brain. It makes it easier. And now these changed the game for me. This was like a revolutionary thing. I used to use just any kind of toiletry bags, but these ones have been a game changer. So of course they are going to be waterproof. And this is a little messy and junky because I have not unpacked it from my last trip. But yeah, it has these two compartments and they hold quite a lot. And then it has a smaller compartment up here, which I tend to put things like deodorant wipes or fresh wipes, or maybe any products that come in a little pouch. I'll pop those in there as well. I love this because it has a little hanger on the top. So whenever I arrive at my hotel and I'm checking in and I'm unpacking everything, I just take this right out of my bag and I hook it on one of the hooks in the bathroom, and everything's just really accessible and pretty well organized, and overall just really easy to travel with. It's gonna fit nicely into my luggage. And now this one's pretty much the same thing, but it's a little bit smaller. So I use this when I'm not checking a bag, and I use this in my carry-on roller. But similarly, it's mesh there so you can see through pretty well. It's got a separate pocket up here. And yeah, it just holds my essentials and keeps everything organized. And then I also do love having a separate pouch for my shoes so that they're not touching everything and getting things dirty, because obviously the shoes have been around the world, honey. We don't need them all over my nice clothes, even though they are well packed into their packing cubes. And these came with the Mona's luggage set, by the way. And then I use this for my dirty washing so that I can keep that organized and separate as well. And there are many different styles that you can get in these, but this is a jewelry case. And I love these for my travels. I will literally go in my larger jewelry section in my room, and I will pull out earrings and bracelets and anklets and necklaces, and I will just pop them right into my jewelry organizer. And it makes me feel so girly and fabulous and organized when I'm getting ready for the evening, and I can pop this open and none of my earrings are missing their back. None of my pieces have broken because they got crushed being in just like a loose open bag. But yeah, there's a lot of different styles of jewelry cases you can get. I got this one from Amazon. I'm sure it was like $10, so cheap and cheerful, but definitely impacts my overall travel experience because my jewelry is nice and organized and accessible. And the final part for organization is having a makeup bag. I use either this clear one, especially when I'm just taking my carry-on bag, so I consolidate my makeup down to more of the essentials. But then I bring this big boy when I want to have all of my extras with me. It has got this huge compartment up here with multiple waterproof zip pockets. And then there's a section on the bottom, and I love it in the corner. It says, "Text me when you land." So cute. So in the bottom, it's got another section. I tend to put a lot of my foundations, my concealers, things that I want to grab and be able to see really easily. And one honorable mention would be a tech pouch, because I tend to put most of my cords and in-flight essentials such as my chargers right in here, and then any of my additional charging cords or things for my cameras, my GoPro, all of my tech goes in this bag here. And so I use the zip compartments to organize all my cords. But I definitely do recommend that if you have a ton of cords, you do consider getting a little cord pouch. It's a great way to organize them all so you can access them easily, and then they're all individually organized so you can actually see which ones are what. Moving right along, so this next category is going to be luggage tools and accessories. Here we've got a traditional bag tag. Highly recommend these. I know they feel outdated, but these saved me one time. My luggage got lost. I was going to Cannes Lions. It was in the south of France, and loads of bags had been lost. I was seeing everybody post their stories online of their bags being lost, but eventually they posted themselves finding their luggage, but not me, guys, because unfortunately the luggage delivery company ended up dropping my bag at a different hotel. But then the airline was completely separate from this delivery service. They were a third party. So there was just a very poor communication between the airline and this delivery service. So as far as they all knew, my bag was in transit. Well, it was not in transit. It's sitting in a storage room of this random hotel. And because I had my bag tag on, they eventually realized, wow, this bag's been here for a few days now. And they were able to look at the tag, find my email address, and they emailed me to say, hey girl, we've got your bag. Were you gonna come and get it at any point? And when I tell you I had to fly back to France to pick up my bag, it was absolutely so hectic. So yes, you wanna have these tags on there, but then in that same vein, you wanna have yourself some AirTags. Absolutely, you need it. These are like the simplest things for you to toss in your bag, and I'm kicking myself because girl, if they're so simple, why didn't you have them in your bag? Well, I did at some point, but then the AirTag I had, the battery died, and I never replaced that AirTag, and I just went on about my travels, just blissfully unaware of the tragedies that could unfold when you can't find your bag. So I now have a fresh box of them. I've put some in my current luggage, and then I've got these for backups. So yeah, get yourself some AirTags, please. If you're watching this video, please, and you don't use AirTags, order them right now. I think it was $4 for $100. You can get them in some sales sometimes. Get them on Amazon. You can get same-day delivery. Get them. It will save you so much stress. Okay, next, very straightforward, very simple, but this is a scale for your luggage. So you just loop that around the handle. Use both arms, unless you know you're Herculean and you can just use one. But use both arms, and it'll tell you on here how much your luggage weighs. So if you are traveling a little budget-friendly airline where they're quite sticklers, or just in general, if you've got a heavy bag and you want to make sure that it's not over the limit, because those prices for a heavy bag are extortion. Like you'll be 2 pounds over and they'll be like, oh great, $125. I'm like, that's half the flight cost sometimes. I will say something that has helped me as a chronic overpacker. I eventually built loyalty status on my airline. I fly with American Airlines. You can say what you want to say. That is my airline that I have built loyalty on, and I'm a stick beside them. But yeah, having loyalty status has allowed me to have a baggage limit of up to 70 pounds instead of 50 pounds. And that extra 20-pound window, that's a lot. I've never gone over the 70, but I've come close. I've gotten to 68 pounds. And I remember thinking like, oof, thank God for my status. Okay, this is my last one. It's a little unnecessary, but I like it. And I think if you've got the space in your luggage, then go for it. It's a steamer. A little travel-friendly steamer. You do not need one that is pink and cutesy. I just really enjoy this one. It works fine, and I do not like ironing. My wardrobe is pretty reflective of my hatred for ironing. Like most of my clothes are either tassels and gems and sequins, so they don't require ironing, or they're bodycons and they just stretch around the body and the curves, thus not requiring an iron as well. But when I do need to get rid of wrinkles, a steamer is my favorite way to go. Oh, and actually one more, a travel umbrella. And an honorable mention of a sewing kit. I do not travel with a sewing kit because I can't use them very well, but I do think they're a great handy dandy, like I really have my life together. I'm very much an experienced traveler type of accessory. But yeah, it's great to have yourself a little umbrella. Oh, isn't it bad luck to open it? I hope not. But yeah, having a mini umbrella is so great. And it's so funny. This one was free at an event. It was actually a fete. It was a party at one of the carnivals I attended, and they were giving those to everybody, which was very helpful because it did in fact rain that day. I think traditionally these are more so to block the sun, but it did rain, so it came in handy. But since then, I like to pop this in my luggage, space permitting. This is definitely one of those things like, I'll leave it out if I don't have the space. Okay, everything I've covered is definitely the bulk of my travel system, from my actual luggage set, to my organization tips, to all the tools and accessories that just make my travels easier. But a last couple of items that I would throw in there is that one, this is a travel document organizer. So you can put maybe your tickets or anything that you needed to print out. I know we're in the digital era, but depending on where you're going in the world, sometimes you do need a printed copy of something. So it has a little section you can fold those in. You can also kind of shove your passport in there. But I keep certain things that I don't want to lose, such as my yellow fever vaccination card. Wow, so outdated. The old Metro card. You can see I don't use this as often. That's why this is a bit more of a bonus. I've got a ticket for the Metro in Paris. I'm sure that's expired. And even I have the old Oyster card. These are also outdated and no longer needed. But in here I also keep my free diving card and my scuba certification card. And then traditionally I would keep foreign money over here. So it's got a zip pocket for coins, and it's got a little flap where you can put your paper money. And that could be quite handy to keep your documents and travel essentials nice and safe and organized. Okay, my lovelies, I think that's a wrap for video 12 here. I hope that the items I shared have helped you a little bit, especially if you want to elevate or streamline your travel experience. I'm telling you, I have tried and tested these. We've been to over 65 countries. In many of them, we've been repeat visitor. And truly, this sort of system has worked like a charm for me. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. again. If you have not subscribed, please do. Make sure you like this video, turn your notifications on, maybe share it with some friends that you're going to be traveling with who might be needing to up their game just a little bit. And I will literally see you guys in my next video tomorrow. Mwah. Bye. Oh, and just what's coming up in the rest of my travel essentials series. We're going to do a video on in-flight essentials. We're going to do a video on some of my beauty and skincare must-haves. I'm going to do a video for my fellow freedivers or people who want to get into freediving of like what things I normally have to pack when I'm going on a freediving or scuba diving trip. And then of course, since I'm going to Carnival next week, I will do a video on some Carnival essentials so that anybody who's thinking about going to Carnival in the future, you are going to be set. You're going to know exactly what you need to pack so that you have everything available to you so you can vet and be on the road and live your best life. So yeah, make sure you guys stay tuned for the rest of the series.